This conference will now be recorded.
We should this sessions should be useful for all of us, not just for we should not just do it with namesake kind of training. You should become hands-on with the training process. That is our agenda. So that's why, excuse me, we solve different use cases, so that what happens is that gives you a lot of confidence to sustain in the industry. But having, so you don't need to be expert in something to sustain on big data. If you are good with the basic, all the fundamentals, if you are at least to the medium level, then it is easy to sustain in industry if it is big data. Maybe if you other technologies, I don't have a good big idea about other technologies, but that is what I am seeing. Because not every project requires coding. That is one thing I would like to tell all of you. Not there is obviously big data needs development. You should have a good experience, good exposure or idea about programming like Scala or Python or Java. But even though you are expert, you cannot guarantee that you are going to develop most sophisticated code snippets in your code. There is no guarantee in that, because I'm trying to tell you clearly. But that doesn't mean that we should overlook it. Don't overlook. You be with you good with your whatever that is necessary, because these are all weapons for us. You make it perfect, sharp your weapons, put them in your bag, so that open it in the interview, and also apply. You open them in the project. That's what I would like to tell you. Now coming back to this, I'm switching to the discussion for the big data. See, as a real-time guy, I don't by heart and come many things, because few things, if I am doubtful about certain things, we will directly Google it and just quickly get some idea in the classroom itself. So please don't feel bad about it, because sometimes I may have time to prepare for you, or sometimes I may not, because we might be occupied with our own what do you call tasks sometimes. So that's why. But still, whatever we are doing here is more than sufficient for you to sustain in the industry. But still, if you want to have any clarifications, if you want to know more, you can come to me, okay, my house, so that even that is also there. You can physically come if it is Hyderabad. Okay, you can meet once in a while on weekends, so that we can discuss in person also if you have any questions. Okay, that is also fine. Now coming back to this, if you want to work with big data, so system requirements. What system requirements we need here? Means you need an 8 GB RAM, at least 8 GB is required. And nowadays, if you purchase any machine, people are giving you 8 GB. If not, you can upgrade to 8 GB. Still, if you have problem, you cannot purchase, you cannot upgrade to 8 GB. You can do one thing. There are online, practice, websites available like CloudX Lab. If you pay 50 rupees, they will give you, an opportunity to practice for 1 week or 2 weeks. I'm not sure, but I used to do that also. And that is actually, that will give you an actual feel of working in a real-time cluster. Okay, but anyhow, you don't have much difference with the cluster from here to your real time. The way you work and the kind of operations you implement will be almost similar from here to your real time cluster. Okay, that's fine. But these are the basic requirements. Okay, and I'll talk about the software part. Don't worry about it. Then, what are the different vendors available? What are the popular vendors? Which vendor we are going to work with right now? All that we are going to discuss. Okay, and then you need a CPUs. Minimum 2 cores are required. Then operating system, it can be Linux or Unix. But of course, you don't need to. Everything comes in the that distributions, Cloudera distribution or Mapper or Hortonworks. But we are going to work with Cloudera. Okay, we'll talk on that point. But these are the basic requirements. If you don't have such kind of system configuration, then you can go for something called Cloud X Lab. I hope Cloud X Lab. This is actually a platform for practicing for job aspirants, so that if you don't have a that configuration, and if you have if you have any problem in upgrading, you don't have sufficient money, then you can use that Cloud X Lab also. That is also fine. But if you want to do it in your machine only, then the challenge is you should have minimum 8 GB, and then you should have 1500 GB RAM. Oh, sorry, GB hard disk. Okay, and this anyhow I'll tell you how to set up. Two cores are you need a finally we need a Linux to work with this big data. Clear, right? So next, if you don't have that, nothing to worry. You can practice on Nodex Lab. I'll show you how to practice also. Nothing to worry on that part. Now, when you talk about big data, how do we work big data? What are the different? I told you Hadoop yesterday. Big data means we use Hadoop. Hadoop is something that runs big data, and okay, it is a big data framework, and this Hadoop can be implemented by different vendors. The point is, who is providing this Hadoop? What are the different vendors existing in the market? Who are the vendors? Like the famous vendors are something like Cloudera and Hortonworks. Okay, and then MapR, and there are so many. Again, we have many also. I think even IBM has one kind of distribution. I hope Amazon also should have one kind of distribution. In that way, there are many other vendors which are very popular, but we are not going to work with all those vendors because mostly in a real-time environment. Excuse me. Okay, I got a little cough these days. Okay, but please excuse me. These are usually in a real-time environment. People might use Cloudera or Hortonworks or MapR. Depends on their client priority. Okay, so for us, if you ask me which distribution you are working, we work with something called Hortonworks. But to be frank, I just connected to only the terminal, this Linux box, and through Putty we connect to that. And from there onwards, I always see only that command prompt. From that command prompt, we start executing our queries, we start executing our Spark submits, we start executing our other things, commands, basic Linux commands, as well as HDFS commands. So that is the point. And we even don't know that behind this there is Hortonworks. People say that we are using Hortonworks. Okay, the same thing happens for Cloudera also. And in a way, this Cloudera and Hortonworks have been merged, if you know or not. No, they both have been merged. In the next 1 to 2 years, you don't have two things. You have both under one umbrella with one system, not two different distributions. Okay, that's what happening with them. That's actually the business part of these two organizations. But for us, we don't have any impact. If any such changes were there, even companies will bring to our notice, and there will be administrators. Now we are not trying to learn big data administration. We are working on big data development. If it is administration, I better recommend you have to be a system administrator, because for that is the best choice. But for you being a developer, if I don't recommend to be an administrator, but I recommend to be a developer, big data developer. Okay, but it's up to you. Suppose you come and ask me, I am very much interested in big data administration. I want to learn that as well. Definitely, if you are that much interested, you can go for that. But I am not into administration part. Here, these sessions are targeted only for which one? Big data development. That is more than sufficient for you to sustain in the industry, and you have more developer jobs, less administrator jobs. Because for the whole company, you might have 7 projects or 8 projects, but you might have one or two administrators for all these projects. But developer, for a, if you are a developer, all these projects needs developers. For example, if you ask me about our project, in our project, directly we are working, 4 people are working in our project, onshore and offshore, right? And apart from our 4, again, there are other people who are connected to this project. We have some other API people, some other Salesforce people. If you talk like that, the whole team consists of at least 20 to 25 people, including the data modeling team and including the some other teams. I'm only just talking about the fundamental part of how it works in real time. So that tomorrow, why I'm giving all this information is not to waste your time. Because from the beginning itself, if I keep, giving you these inputs, so that when tomorrow when you attend interview, when somebody asks you a question, without any hesitation, you can talk to them. Okay, these many people are there in my project. My whole project architecture has these many layers. These many final team will have this. You can answer them, but I'm not going to talk anything about my project. Again, I'm telling you, I give inputs like how it works. That's all. I don't give any details of my working project or any other projects which I have worked. You got the point, right? But I give the information which doesn't affect anything to me or to the organization. You got it, right? Understood, Alma? So that's it. Clear now? So these are the distributions. So finally, the point is, what is the point now? What is that using Hortonworks? But for our practice, what is that we are going to use? Cloudera. Maybe you can ask me a question. You suggest us to use Cloudera. You told that you are working on Hortonworks. Suppose I learn Cloudera and tomorrow I need to work on Hortonworks. Is there any problem? Do you have any issue? In my previous company, I worked on Cloudera. That is my project distribution. Big data distribution is Cloudera. In my current company, I'm working on Hortonworks. I didn't see any big difference. You got it right? Huh? Behind implementation, there might be so many, no, at system level, there might be so many differences, but at our level, the changes are very less for me. I didn't see too many differences. For me, the work is as same as which I have worked in Cloudera in Hortonworks also. You got this point, right? Again, next question. So which one we should use? You practice with Cloudera, you just play with it, work with as much as possible. That is more than enough. If you have any issues, you come to me and you can give left and right to me in future. That's what I can guarantee you. Yeah. So that's about this one. These were the distributions, and we are going to work on Cloudera. Okay, that's why in the beginning, if you see software requirement to work with Cloudera. So what are those software requirements? At this 8 GB RAM, minimum you need to use 8 GB RAM, and what else? This memory is your issue, hard disk is your issue. You can go nowadays. You don't have a laptop minimum with 1 TB configuration. You don't need to worry about it. Number of cores, how to set all that I'll discuss. I'll explain how to create an environment for that. Okay, you don't need to care about it. Next one. Now you are going to work with big data. So what kind of file systems we need to use? How many different file systems exist? Okay, so if that is the case, if you are working with big data or Hadoop folks, okay, you need to have good idea about two different file systems. One is what we call it as a Linux file system. The other one is HDFS. Linux is local. This is a local file system. Usually, all your files initially you put it in Linux machine box. From Linux, you push it to HDFS. Okay, so you have a Linux file system. That is first thing. This is also called as a local file system. Then HDFS. This is exclusively used for your Hadoop, not for normal file system, not for storing normal files. It is called Hadoop distributed file system. What is this? It is a Hadoop distributed file system. Are you following this? Clear now? Following or not? So, what is the difference here? First, you need to get idea about Linux file system. Then I'll talk about Hadoop distributed file system. Whatever you store or whatever you work in this Hadoop environment, for that definitely you need to have HDFS. That is actually the first ecosystem of Hadoop. Maybe you can ask me, sir, you are frequently using this word ecosystem. What is that? Could you give us some information about it? Don't worry. We'll talk about the whole environment of Hadoop, and I'll show you an image or a diagram of all the ecosystems and how they were connected with Hadoop, all the different layers of Hadoop, so that you get some idea. Understood, right? So you don't need to worry. I'll give a perfect idea. Whatever is necessary only I'll talk it. Whatever it is not necessary, I'll skip them. Okay. Right. So this is actually the core system in your Hadoop, where all your ecosystems are built on top of HDFS. It's like a pillar for a house. You know what people do first? They will dig deep into the ground and they will lay pillars, and on top of that you build your houses, isn't it? Same thing. HDFS is a distributed file system. Distributed again. I'll remember this. We are going to talk about it again in a detailed discussion. It is a distributed file system. And what's the point here? All your ecosystems are built on top of this HDFS. You got it right? Like, it's like to just channelize it like this. You have a rice, rice, eating rice, boiled rice or something. The core for anything is boiled rice. From that, you can channelize to many varieties of dishes. From rice, you can cook biryani, you can cook fried rice, you can cook veg biryani, you can cook chicken biryani, mutton biryani, prawns biryani. All these are ecosystems. But all these are built on top of what? Rice only, right? That is HDFS. Means any ecosystem run on top of something, that is HDFS, because they have to store data and process data. And where this data is available, has to be available in the file system. That file system for Hadoop is HDFS. Then what about Linux? Linux has all the files. Whatever comes, we put it in Linux first. Then we shift it to HDFS. That's how it goes in the real-time environment. You understand? See, you don't need to really work in a real-time environment to feel that what you are, to feel it like whether you are working in or not. You trust me. If you play properly with Cloudera distribution in your machine or in CloudX Lab, is more than enough. Okay, it is almost 90% similar to your real-time environment. Then what is the difference? The difference is, apart from all this, you have to learn a couple of other tools which were used for a project implementation. Then if you know them also, then you are a perfect guy for working. Understood? Right. So I gave clarity about HDFS now. Then Linux I am going to talk, right. When you talk about Linux, Linux uses a hierarchical file system structure. That is fine. Okay, hierarchical in sense, suppose I'll show you in Google. It's good for all of us. Okay. Where is my Chrome? Linux file system. And it looks like this. If you see, it will be hierarchical like this. Can you see here now? You can see like this. Actually, you can flip that also. Okay, this is actually hierarchical file system. You will have a root in the beginning. From root, you will come to bin. From bin, boot, all these are there. Okay, from root, all these are sub files, and from there again you have subdivision. It keeps going. And this is what kind of file system? Hierarchical file system. You got it right? Understood or not, folks? Otherwise, something like this, I'll show you. This is the best example. Can you see it now? See this. Okay, it looks like this. This is a hierarchical file system. This is how Linux file system look like. Anyhow, we directly work with Linux file system. I'm just giving you some idea. Okay, you have a root. From root, you have bin, boot, div. Okay, dev, sorry, etc, home, lib, all this stuff. And from there again, there might be subcategories. From user again, you can have so many divisions. And again, from where you have some divisions. This keep going. Even for bin also again here, the bin might have some more folders inside that. This is how the file system of Unix is organized. I think most of you know this, if I am not wrong. You don't know, nothing, okay, nothing to worry because we are having a detailed discussion. The point is, folks, might be if I am giving, if I am trying to give more information, if you think that is you don't need that much, then you tell me, I will cut short it. But what is the point is, my intention is to make sure that you get a perfect idea. That's all. Okay. Now, first thing, what we have to do here. First, we need to understand basic commands which we use in day-to-day work of working with this big data project. There might be some 30-40 commands in big data, to be frank, because as I'm working into this big data from past 3 years, I'm teaching, I'm working, okay, from past 3 years. Point is, not all these commands are required in a real time. I will highlight what commands I'm using in our day-to-day job requirements. Okay, so you can just focus more on them. Moreover, these are not that difficult as well. Okay, first thing, once you get some idea about Linux, so we need to understand basic Linux commands, which are not that difficult. If you are a layman, if you are a new person to this, you can start playing from now. But before that, we have to do one thing. First, make your machine ready to test all these commands. What do you have to do? What we have to do? Your machine should be ready. So, but is our machine ready for us? No, no. So what we do is, first let us. How many of you have 8 GB RAM or 16 GB RAM? Just tell me. Or just you can answer. Otherwise, you can tell me. Oh, by unmuting your machine. 16 GB. Vera has 16 GB. Who else has 16 GB? Madhu, do you have 16 GB? Okay, 8 GB is fine, no issues. What about Madhu? What about Srikanth? What about Sandeep? Hi Sandeep, I think you are new to this session. Welcome to Big Data Sessions. 4 GB. Do you want to upgrade it or do you want to work without upgradation? All of you, you tell me now. Is it possible for you to upgrade to 8 GB or would you like to start working with Cloud X Lab? Because if you pay 50 every 1 week or 2 weeks, it's fine. 50 rupees anyhow. If you just go for a breakfast, it will be, it will just go away like that. Am I right? Maybe if you want to upgrade, then you can have to spend some 4 or 5,000 on top of that. If it is a physical session, definitely I would have recommended. As it is not a physical session, this is actually online, and I don't want to waste your money too much on this. Nowadays we have so many sources. So what do you tell me? You suggest me, based on that we'll do it. What do you do?
Bro, that you tell us that, so which is good. So whether it is going to upgrade will be useful for us, or using that Cloudera is
So this is
better
actually,
for us.
Madhu. I'll show you. First of all, I'll show Cloudera to you. Okay. Then we'll discuss about that. Already I have, this is not an installation. We have to download it and we have to run it. That's all. Definitely, we need an environment. You have to keep practicing. Okay. Don't hurry. Takes a time. We'll continue slow. In a right way. In a getting a deeper foundation. Okay. So this is my environment. I'll show you both. You pick which one you want to go with. Okay. But I think if it is CloudX Lab, sometimes if you want to import files, I'm not sure how comfortable with Cloud. We can run many things, but there are few gray areas where certain things are possible or not. Even it is possible, can we do in CloudX Lab is one question. Okay, but anyhow, this is my Linux box, and this is a Cloudera distribution. You can see this in white color bold letters. It's clearly showing it's Cloudera. Now what should I do? I just need to use the command prompt. You just click on this. But folks, in a real-time cluster, you cannot see this your Linux box desktop. You don't have access to your Linux box desktop or your Hadoop box. Okay, virtual box desktop. You don't have access because administrators might see all this, but you just see only one thing. I'll just show you how that one thing look like this. Usually that prompt, now it is white in color. Of course, colors you can change it. That's not a big issue. But usually in a real-time environment, this this will be more or less you get a black command prompt. Okay, if you want to get a clear information, but black or white is that doesn't matter. Okay, let it be whatever it is. It's because color is not important for us. It's about the commands which we work. It's about the work we do on this. That is important. So this is first one. Once you open machine, this from this in this Linux environment, what do I do regularly in my Linux box? Are you getting my point? See, generally, my files will be in Windows operating system. One more important point, guys. Local file system in sensor, actually it is Windows like this. My files will be in some Windows operating system. All my files. I'm giving you pure real time, no, this thing. Okay. My files will be like this in my Windows. I put all this in one folder or many folders, depends on your choice. Okay. Then what I do, whenever I need certain files, I use a I use what? I use a software called Putty or a tool called Putty that is not there in my machine. I'm just showing you just for idea. Okay. And using this Putty, I don't think I can connect to Putty, connect to Cloudera box from my Windows using Putty. But I'm giving you a clear idea how this connection happens from your Windows machine to the actual Hadoop environment. Usually Hadoop run on servers, certain servers. There are different servers Hadoop will run, like development servers, like testing servers, like production servers. Actually, we deal with the development servers, okay, and testing servers, test servers and development servers. Now, from this Windows operating system, you have to move your files to that development environment, which is nothing but like this. It looks like this only, which is actually your result, your virtual box or your Linux machine, Linux box. In this Linux box, you start working. You bring data to this environment here. You copy data from the Windows environment to this Linux environment. Are you following? Suppose there is a file, data file. I'll just show you. I have a JSON file. Okay. Assume that what is that I have? What file? I have a JSON file. That JSON file, let me see if I have any JSON file anywhere. Okay, no problem. That JSON file, I have to move from Windows to Linux. This one to this point. Using putty, what I do, I will putty will connect to the Linux box. I'll just type here. What are the steps you have to follow if you want to share your files from your Windows operating system to your Linux box? Because you can execute your data in Linux box, not from Windows, and you can put your data in HDFS only through Linux box, only through that Cloudera distribution, only through that Hortonworks distribution, only through that Mapper distribution, not in Windows operating system. So point is, usually I'm just giving you clear idea how the environment, it is same for almost all the big data projects, not for my project. You go and work with any big data project, because I have worked in a bank project earlier. Okay, the approach is same. Right now I am working in a life insurance project. It is also same. Tomorrow I might work in a medical project or some other project. The process is same. So if you want to get in touch with Linux environment and if you want to run these commands, point is what is that? How you are going to connect? There will be a putty, that is a software which you run from Windows operating system. I'll show you. Might be I may not connect, but the process, every step, every inch, I'll clearly explain. That is more than enough. Tomorrow, when you get into your project, you don't need to even ask your colleagues also how to connect to all this. Of course, still you need to ask them. That is a different story. But you don't need to depend much on your colleagues. I'm trying to tell you now itself. Got it right? So what this putty does? Usually when you open and connect, you will have a Windows machine like what I does. But Windows have just all my files, because I open my mail and download all the files which must be loaded into the Hadoop environment, do some process. Then what is that? Then if I should load it into HDFS or Hadoop environment or to the actual cluster, if I put it into cluster, okay, then what is that? I have to move the files from Windows to this Linux environment, Linux box, what we call. For that we use putty. Sorry, not putty. For moving files, we use something called WinSCP. Understand? For connecting to the Linux box, suppose I want to connect it to Linux box from Windows, then putty, what putty does? Putty will connect to Linux box from Windows. Putty connect to Linux box. What WinSCP does? After connecting through putty, what we do is first you have to connect it through putty. That is step one. Then you have to copy the files. What we should do? You have to copy files, whichever you need to load to Hadoop distribution, or whichever you want to load to the cluster, Hadoop cluster. Got it right? After connecting through putty, WinSCP helps you to move files from Windows to. It's just a simple drag and drop. Might be this might looks little funny. Even a sixth class student can do this drag and drop. So means we don't need to worry about it. Clear, right? So that's about this part. Then after that, okay, once I connect it to this, then I should run my commands. every day when I connect to this, which commands I run first? First, usually the most used commands are pwd, first thing. Then it shows me the working directory. What it shows? Present working directory. Then after that, okay, what do I do? I use ls command, ll command. Okay, can you see this? Another command which I regularly use every day is a ll. Then what else I do? cd. cd something like, cd means change directory. Suppose if already some lib is there, I just want to go and see what is there inside it. cd command. cd dot dot. I want to come back again. Then I apply cd dot dot. Are you following this? This basic commands. ls gives you listing in the, what is that, normal order here. You can say regular order. LL means long listing. It will give you, timestamp and their permissions and their, owner group. Okay, who is the, all that information. You get group information, owner information, you get all that stuff, process IDs, everything. Okay, and type
So can't we
process.
use the HDFS commands to do all these kind of activities?
Exactly, that is also there. Who is that? Sandeep or Vera?
Madhu.
Madhu?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, Madhu. Yes. See, there are two different things here we are doing. Okay. One, first, whenever you move files to the local machine, this is local file system. Okay. First, you need to check what files are there, what are their permissions. Okay. And then what content is there inside. Sometimes you have to look into the content also. Are you following, Madhu? Okay.
Yeah,
Then,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, these are very basic things you do in your day-to-day work. Sometimes you need to change permissions. You have to apply some chmod command. Okay, and there are, you don't need to do everything here. Like, while learning, you can do so many things. But when you work on a real-time cluster, you don't have permissions to do whatever you want. You cannot change permissions for everybody's file. If it is your file, you might change it. If you try to change other people's permission, it's a big violation. It's a what do you call this, privilege violation, and you should not do that. If you try to do that, somewhere you need to provide explanation to the, your team, or your to that particular guy, admin guy again. So we don't need to touch other files, and you don't have permissions for everything. Whatever you are supposed to do, work on that. And the basic operations which are required, we do with this local Linux commands. Coming to your question, HDFS. See, HDFS commands are required only if you want to move your data to the HDFS path. Which path? Which path?
HDFS. Yeah.
HDFS path. I will clearly explain how this process goes, Madhu. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
So HDFS commands are required, Madhu. Without HDFS commands, there is no point of running a big data project. Understood?
Okay.
See, either this HDFS commands are required either in some script, if not directly. Otherwise, the HDFS commands you can directly run like this: HDFS space DFS. Okay, hyphen. You can say LF. Okay, you can say slash. Okay, user Cloudera. Are you following this? Not home, user Cloudera. If any files exist in that, it will show you. If you don't have any files, nothing comes. It's showing some error, nothing to worry, don't worry about it. Might be I need to restart the cluster. No, because I just directly jump to this. I'll show you clearly in the next session. You don't need to worry about it, okay? But point is, you need to play with the HDFS commands, because every day in our in our job, we definitely need to move data from this local file system to HDFS RDG, what we call, okay, raw data zone. We have to keep put there. Sometimes we have to get from there. Sometimes we have to remove from there. Okay. Sometimes we have to do some other kind of things. Got it right, Madhu?
Yeah. Following.
And mostly I'll talk about HDFS commands once I finish Linux commands. Is it fine?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But in a big data project, your Linux commands and HDFS commands both are required. We work combining, using both. It's not just only Linux commands. It's not just only HDFS commands. We use both for accomplishing certain tasks. Got it right?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. So as it is a Unix, Linux environment, so definitely I think we should use both.
Yeah, it's not just only HDFS commands we use. It's not just only Linux commands. We have to work with them in a combination. Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. So that's about this part, gentlemen. Are you following? So these are all password PWD is a present working directory, and then here when you talk about Cloudera, if you see here, okay, I just typed PWD, and what is it showing here? What is it showing? Home Cloudera. Home Cloudera. This is actually the default path in Cloudera. Which path? Default. Means all the files. This is a local path. Otherwise, if you want to be more clear, what is it is it is a local path where all your local files are, whatever the files you copy from Windows to this environment, all these are stored under home Cloudera. We cannot, when you put under home Cloudera, it doesn't mean that they are in distributed environment. They are still in local environment. Now, if you move them to user Cloudera, what is that? Just show you clearly. Slowly, I will tell you. Copy. So here, this is default. So all the files which you copy from Windows to Linux box, by default, they will be stored under this default path, home. This is local file system, local path. Which path? Suppose if you want to keep your files in HDFS, then the path for HDFS is /user/Cloudera. Are you following? Somebody please mute your machine, folks, as we are recording. Sometimes that will come to the recording again. Okay. Anyhow, these are all simple things. These are all very basic things, and you don't need much time to get in touch with all this stuff. Okay. Once you just start working with them, automatically you get clarity here. So let me show you how to connect it to Cloud Xlog first. Are you ready now? For practice purpose. Later on, you can decide whether to upgrade or whether to continue with CloudX Lab, or that point you can decide later.
Is there anything that we can learn at the time of installation? So in that case, we will go for this upgradation. Otherwise, so we will make use this Cloudera. If it is anything that we should, so we can learn over there at the time of installation and
This one, you
the
can use
internal
this. See,
things.
you can use this. I didn't understand, Madhu, what you are saying. Please repeat one more time.
Yeah, so you told me, right? You told us that so whether upgradation or a cloud era. So at the time
Hmm.
of these installations, physical installations of all these kind of activities, is there any learning scope over there at the time of installation?
See, this is a
Internal
this
things.
this is a cluster model.
Okay.
So when you have a cluster, you have everything inbuilt on top of cluster. Okay, are you following, Madhu?
Yeah, yeah.
So when it is everything is there on top of cluster, you need to know how to run each ecosystem like HBase, Hive, Pig, or your Spark or Scala, all this stuff. How to run all this, or how to move your data from a local file system to HDFS path. You need to get idea about all this stuff. Okay, are you following, Madhu?
Yeah, yeah.
But underlying internal learning, for a developer, you need to focus more on the implementation. We don't need to get too much into the discussion of or details of hardware environment or big data environment. Okay, at some level, if you have some basic understanding, it's more than enough. Okay,
Okay.
to be frank, let me tell you one thing. You know, again, I'm bringing back the same old cow story. From past 3 years, if I am in big data and when I'm working there, we see so many files here in the Hadoop environment. I will also show you. I will also explain the importance of those files. And we can modify that here in our machines as it is local for us. But trust me, in my real-time environment, in my real-time projects, we never had an opportunity even to look at those files also. Hadoop related like HDFS XML or this mapred XML files are there are so many files like this, hive site XML, something like that. I'll talk more on that. What we call them as configuration files. We hardly didn't see such files at all because those are completely under the control of administrators. We don't have any access to them. Even if you want to change anything, only a mail will help. More than that, nothing is going to help you. Got it right?
Yeah, yeah. I do understand that. Yeah.
That's it. So first you have to log in. How do you log in is your choice. Uh, you have to use credentials. I don't remember my credentials now. Okay. You have to get into this first of all. What should I do? Which one should I give here? Let me do one thing. I'll take a free account. I'm just showing you how to sign up for this. All of you are seeing Vera and Sandeep. Hmm? What about this? You just follow this, okay? Because you need to create it if you want to practice it for a while. Okay, I have access to this now. Some server error. So you have to do this first. I'm just trying to connect into that Cloud XML. There will be a process. I think I am already connected here. See this? So no problem. Now we are connected here. Now you go to the My Lab here. Are you following, guys? You can talk to me. You can unmute and talk because this is our session. You know, all of us know are known people here. No need to worry.
Yeah,
So
yeah, following, sir.
you register and you come here. It will ask you to create an account for CloudX Lab. Just for this is very helpful. Many people practice on this throughout the world, not just only in India. So here, go for lab, My Lab, and what you have to do is you can see enroll now to learn and practice or refer friends and get 15 days lab access. You do one thing, one person enroll, or you refer a friend, got it right, you will get 15 days free. Again, five of us are here. I think if one people pay 50 rupees or something, then automatically all five of us can get free for 15 days. Enroll.
Yeah, sure, we can do that. Yeah, we can do like that.
For first free trial, it is 0. Enroll for free trial first, because after that, once if necessary, we can go for paid one. If you feel otherwise, you can create a new mail ID and you can try with that also. You don't need to pay 1 rupee also for practice.
Yeah,
And
we can try in different ways.
yeah. So here, if you see, you just just give some details here and KYC via payment. It is asking some details. 1 minute, gentlemen. You people tomorrow you create and come to the session, okay? And open this and keep ready. If you want to get free, you have to use KYC via university mail. So your university mail ID Manohar dot learnwell at gmail.com. It will send one-time password for us. Okay. Come on, Raja. Okay, let me open my Gmail account. No, just follow and prepare your machine for tomorrow, because you have to practice. It is important. You need to work along with me. The session is not just like I keep on teaching. It's not like that. First, I will show you what we need to work, and you have to start working on that in the class itself. You don't need to again see. Obviously, going home or sitting it yourself and practicing is not possible always. I don't say it's not impossible, but if somebody is there and sitting with you and pushing you, do it, then definitely that gives you more motivation. If somebody is like that for me, like which I am asking, then I feel more happy for that. Okay, fine. Now coming back to the point, what is that? Learn well, right? So this is learn well. I need to get some mail from this CloudX people. Or one-time OTP, they were saying, right? I'll
That
just
one
check
is showing
what
that that one security alert, first one.
this one.
Yeah, that one only.
If they are asking send one-time password, we asked it. They has to send it, right? Okay, let me see.
Yeah, maybe in that it is show.
It will show with CloudX Lab. It doesn't show like this. I will do one thing. More.
Oh,
If it is in some spam or what, we'll check. Okay. Sometimes it might come to spam also. We'll see there. Oh, it's in YouTube only. I think we didn't get it. No problem. For me, 50 rupees is not a problem. I'll show you first of all. Okay. Via payment. Actually, we should get this. Can you see? And also you can see here, if it is zero free trial, please verify your identity by completing KYC, know your customer process. You can have KYC process by either by making payment. We will refund subscription amount in how many days, sir? 5 to 10 days. So it's like even you can get a refund. I am going with the refund process. Okay. And then net banking. I choose net banking. Okay. And then I think I don't have any coupon. We need to pay 59 rupees, nothing more than that. Okay, then make payment. It will take you to the this one. Enter number. Okay, then click on next. Go for net banking. I choose access because I have access. And then click on checkout. Now I am in access account. Okay. Okay. Now enter this. Now you get a mail. Then confirm. Enter your OTP here. You get a OTP. 1 minute. Anyhow, this process all of you know, right? Doing online net banking is not something new for all of you. Actually, if development is ready by now, we would have been testing our commands. One minute. Let me try this. 877. Excuse me. Might be I'm late. No problem. Okay. Okay. I'm successful now. It will again take me to the CloudX itself environment. Now it is setuping a lab for me for 59 rupees, and this 59 will get refunded after 5 to 10 days. Like that, everyone will have one free time in CloudX lab. Okay.
So it will allow us to do all kind of practices, right?
I'm just showing you. You choose which one you want. You can use Cloudera also. I will show you how to install Cloudera from scratch. That is also there. Okay, one session we dedicate how to download Cloudera distribution, how to install it, how to run it. That will happen. Okay, in one session, maybe immediately tomorrow after working some commands. Okay, or if you want me to do
Yeah,
it
yeah.
tomorrow, I will take that session tomorrow only. Okay.
No, 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 bro, no, bro, no, bro. So we'll do it sometime later.
Okay, it's up to you. If anybody is interested, I will show them. Okay, it's not something difficult. It's simple. Now, what you have to do? These were my credentials. What should I do now? Go to Ambari, to Jupyter. I don't need all that. I need web console. I hope. I need a terminal. This is how actual real-time cluster look. You got it right? Can you see this now? When you connect to Putty, if you see,
Yeah,
assume this is in Putty, you give your username password like this, and when you click on that, that will take you to this terminal, and it will ask you to enter your credentials. What you have to do? Actually, even here also Putty is working. In fact, you have to copy your credential. Manohar Learnwell 2833. Okay, and then click here. And if it is not happening, directly type it. If it is not taking, nothing to worry. Manohar Learnwell 2883. So Manohar Learnwell 2883. Second one, password. Very secret. Don't tell to anyone. Okay. Just kidding. Okay, if you want, you can also use this. Nothing to worry. JQ1 TD9X8. Let me see if we can copy. There is a copying option. Then my job is simple. And you have to, passport have to be submitted within 60 seconds. Okay. I think it's time out. Seems like it's timed out. J happened. I have to log in again. It's timed out. No problem.
stuck. I think. Yeah.
Manohar Learnwell 8003, and it's asking password quickly. JQ1 TD9X8. JQ1 JQ1 TD9X8. Incorrect login. I think I can. If it is our cluster, I can use up and down arrow marks. So Manohar learn well 8003. Then the password is
No. That is 2883, right?
huh? What is that? Oh, that is a
Login
mistake.
తప్పు పడుతుంది. Login.
Oh no, yeah, that is a mistake.
Yeah.
We'll do one thing. We'll try again. After 60 seconds timeout, again fresh login. 2883, right? This time I'll be careful. Learn well. Manohar learn well 2883.
288.
Correct only, right? Password JQ
Yeah.
ED 9x8. JQED 9x8. Correct only, right? Now you are
Yes.
in your understood now?
Yeah.
This is how cluster also look like. It's almost near to 90% near to your real-time cluster. Following, folks? Tomorrow you don't see anything which I have shown here. This one you don't see. Okay. This desktop you don't see. What you see? You see only this command prompt. Now from here you have to check pwd. What is this? This is what my local file path is. Okay. Then what is my HDFS path? HDFS DFS hyphen ls. Let me try this. What comes to me now? Nothing is there. So you have to create something of your own choice. Okay. You can create it. Ls. I'll do one thing. I'll say slash. When you say slash, this is your actually, can you see here? It will take you to the Hadoop environment. When I say slash here with HDFS command, these commands are which commands? This when you apply like this, when you are saying listing with HDFS command, means you are doing you are seeing or you are watching HDFS related what? Hadoop related files or Hadoop related folders. You got it right? And you can see here now user, as I told you, slash user. Okay, let me just enter there. What happens? What it shows under user. There are so many things. Under user, there are so many people. And yours also will be there. You have to create yours under that. Okay.
So people like us.
User. These are all different people which created their own HDFS path like this. Can you see Arvind Anugula, Arvind and there are hundreds or thousands of people registered into this CloudX lab. Are you following, folks?
Yeah.
So this is actually a real time. What? This is almost 90% near to your real time cluster. Got it?
Yeah.
For tomorrow, register for free. First, let's finish off all the basic commands, everything in this CloudX lab. Okay, is it fine for you, Vera? Later on, once that is done, I will show you how to install what? Cloudera distribution. It's nothing. We just need to download a zip, open that zip, and just add it to a Oracle virtual box or VMware. I prefer virtual box because virtual box is stable. VMware sometimes it will fluctuate. So let's go download virtual box. Just you need to configure that Cloudera distribution files to this. That's all. Nothing. It will hardly take 15 to 20 minutes. The process is very easy. There is nothing complicated or complexity here. Once I show you, from next time onwards, you will show to hundreds of people. I am very confident. Okay, clear, right? So for practice, quick practice. Okay, we use this Cloud XLAM. All of you can share, take my credential, and you can work with that also. That is also fine for us. But as it is free, everyone can have one account created for yourself. It will hardly take 10 to 15 minutes, not more than that. Is it fine for all of you? So what do you understand so far? See, I think I'm going more into the, I'm talking more in terms of project perspective only. I'm not going too much of discussion, like I don't talk too much theory here. Discussion will be directly what's happening in the project, how you have to work with project. I mean, happening project in sense, I don't share my, what is that, my project details or project, I don't reveal all that, but how it is happening, the process I will share. Okay. Understood now? Because this is an open platform. Even in a closed platform, as we sign this confidentiality clauses, it's not right on my part not to break that confidentiality clause. Okay, because as a teacher, if I am doing that, I am giving a wrong message to many people. Tomorrow, if I put this in YouTube, people might not think it good. Okay, so that's why I'll give all the real-time practices, approaches, and use cases, but not that is related to project. The process will talk. Finally, what is our discussion today? We understood the environment. We understood file systems, types of file systems. We understood how many vendors are there. We understood what kind of distributions exist. We understood which are popular in the industry. We understood, okay, how to, the difference between Linux file system and HDFS. Still, it's not completed. I will give you, we will discuss in such a way that you don't have any doubt on that. That's how we will discuss. No need to worry about anything. I will clearly give you perfect inputs to understand Hadoop. Okay, good, right? I stop here, guys. I don't know whether you have your dinner or not, but I didn't had dinner so far. Even today also, it is missing. So what I will do is, because at least for you there is a possibility while listening you can eat your dinner. For me there is no possibility. So what we will do now? Shall we take any questions before we stop now? Any questions? Any concerns? Any doubts?
Yeah, sir,
Sandeep
I'm good,
or
sir. So,
Veera or Srikanth or Madhu or okay, all of you.
yeah, I'm good, sir, so far.
Madhu, yeah, definitely will be good throughout our course. That is what is uh, a strong word for all of you.
Yeah,
Shall we
good.
stop?
So from my side, everything is good.
So if you have doubts, please raise your doubts at the end of the session. In the middle, sometimes you might deviate, from the topic. So keep your doubts, list out all your doubts. But in the end, how much our time it will, I will clarify all your doubts. Okay, we'll discuss clearly question by question. Fine.
Yeah, fine, sir.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay. Good night. This is a recorded one. We have
Yeah, thank you, sir.
recordings.
Good night.
Yeah, good night.